Shout out to the supporters of Tupac Was Lyrical. This right here is Tupac, Got My Mind Made Up. And I must say that Tupac really got busy on this track. And I think it was because Redman and Method Man was on this track. And Tupac had the shortest verse out of anybody on the entire track between Redman and Method Man. So Tupac's verse was 40 seconds long. Method Man's verse was 45 seconds long. And Redman's verse was 1 minute long. This is where I say Tupac got back on that New York, or rather East Coast flow. And this is where Tupac can switch his styles up. This shows you that Tupac was very versatile. Now let's get into it.
So mandatory, my elevation, my lyrics like orientation. So you could be more familiar with the nigga you facing. We must be patient, nothing better than communication. Known the damage and highly flammable like gas stations. Sorry, I left that ass waiting. No more procrastination, give up the fake and get that ass shaking. I'm busting and making motherfuckers panic. Don't take your life for granted, put that ass in the dirt. You swear the bitch was planted. My lyrics motivate the planet. It's similar to Rhythm Nation, but thugged out. Forgive me, Janet. Who's in control? I'm activating your soul. You know the way the game's getting told. Yo, 2 years ago, a friend of mine told me Alizé and Cristal blows your mind. Bear witness to the dopest fucking rhyme I wrote. Taking off my coat, clearing my throat.
Tupac says, so mandatory, my elevation, my lyrics like orientation, so you can be more familiar with the nigga you facing. Now, how is somebody gonna say that's not fire? He says, so mandatory, my elevation. So elevation is just meaning rising, my climb to the top, my advancement, just my elevation of rising is mandatory. So mandatory, my elevation. My lyrics is like orientation, so you can be more familiar with the nigga you facing. So now Tupac is talking about his lyrics. Now Tupac is talking about his lyrics. He's talking about his lyrics. He said, my lyrics are like orientation. And many of us know what orientation feels like when you go get a job, when you're starting a new job rather, and they bring you around the entire building and you meet the employees or your co-workers and you meet the supervisors, etc., etc. You get familiar with the paperwork, you watch videos and all this other shit. So that's like Tupac. When you get to know his lyrics, my lyrics is like orientation. Get to know me. Get to find out that I'm lyrical. Find out that I got double entendres, that I got metaphors, that I got punchlines, bars, I got stories, I got thug shit, I got shit for the women. My lyrics are like orientation. I got it all here. My lyrics like orientation, so you could be more familiar with the nigga you facing. Be more familiar with me. Know who you fucking with. He says we must be patient. Nothing better than communication. Known to damage, highly flammable, like gas stations. He's basically saying I'm known to damage. I'm highly flammable, like gas stations. Blow up on your ass is what he's basically saying. Then he says, sorry, I left that ass waiting. No more procrastination.
Give up to fate.
That means allow shit to happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So get that ass shaking. That right there can be taking a couple of different interpretations. Whether he's telling the woman to get that ass shaking, or telling the dude like, yo, be nervous, be scared, you know, start shaking when I'm coming at you. Because then he goes, I'm busting and making motherfuckers panic. Don't take your life for granted. I put that ass in the dirt. You swear that bitch was planted. Like that shit was fire right there. But then he says, I'm busting and making motherfuckers panic. So it's like, you know, Tupac went to the gun range. You know, Tupac walked around with twin Glocks. You know, Tupac bust. You know, Tupac had niggas in panic. These lines are what he's saying. These are not just punchlines. This is his actual life. This is actually him. This is actually how he gets down. Then he says, don't take your life for granted. Basically, fucking with him. Don't take your life for granted. I put that ass in the dirt. You swear that bitch was planted. double entendre. Basically, I will KILLU. You would be buried 6 feet deep. Grass would start growing. It looked like that something was planted there. My lyrics, once again, he gets to lyrics. My lyrics motivate the planet. I like how he goes from, I put that ass in the dirt. You swear that bitch was planted. My lyrics motivate the planet. So he goes from plant it to planet. But it was slick the way he did it. I put that ass in the dirt. You swear that bitch was planted within the planet. And then also my lyrics motivate the planet. Similar to Rhythm Nation, but thugged out. Forgive me, Janet. So when he's saying that shit is similar to Rhythm Nation, the music, the lyrics and the music, this is a Rhythm Nation, but his shit is thugged out. And then he's saying, forgive me, Janet. That line goes right back to whatever happened between him and Janet Jackson on the movie set of Poetic Justice. Who's in control? That's also a shout out to Janet Jackson's song, Control. I'm activating your soul. That's Tupac. When Tupac spits, he really gets in you with songs like Keep Your Head Up, Still I Rise, Brenda's Got a Baby, Dear Mama. These type of songs that Tupac create, this shit will activate your soul. They play Tupac when they're hurting. They play Tupac when they're angry, when they're upset, when they're happy. He says, I'm activating your soul. You know the way the game's getting told. Then he goes 2 years ago, a friend of mine. That right there is a homage, a line to Run DMC. And then he switches it up when he says, told me Alizé and Cristal blows your mind. The song is Sucker MCs. And the actual line goes,
2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rap.
So Tupac switches it up with a homage saying 2 years ago, a friend of mine told me Alizé and Cristal blows your mind. Somebody might think that was a simple line if they don't know their hip hop history. But that right there is some hip hop shit. A lot of you people get mad at other rappers for doing, and we call it biting lines and shit. But nah, that's actually paying homage to the icons who laid down the path for people like Tupac as well as others to follow. Then he says, bear witness to the dopest fucking rhyme I wrote, taking off my coat, clearing my throat. All that right there is a homage to Rakim. Now, going right back to the flow real quick, when he says so mandatory, my elevation, my lyrics like orientation, so you can be more familiar with the nigga you facing. We must be patient, nothing better than communication. Known to damage, highly flammable like gas stations. Sorry y'all left that ass waiting. No more procrastination. Give up the fate and get that ass shake. He made that rhyme for a while. Yeah, a lot of you people are going to come here and say, that's whatever. But this is 1996, and a lot of people wasn't paying Tupac any attention when it came to his lyricism. People don't talk about Tupac's lyricism. They talk about him. How do you think channels like the Art of Dialogue and other people, a lot of them talk about Tupac's life and not necessarily the lyricism? They talk about his life and how impactful it was. But this channel focusing on the lyricism of it all. And I show people how dope of a lyricist Tupac actually was. That's why I say Tupac was lyrical. For those who might come here and be like, yo, Tupac hated on Inspector Deck. That's not the truth. Daz already cleared this up. In fact, he said, Got My Mind Made Up is actually the song that started the tension between Tupac and Dr. Dre, because Dr. Dre had told Tupac that he produced the beat. And when Daz told Tupac Dre ain't produced it, that's when Tupac went to go step to Dr. Dre. Daz also said somebody else was the last one to have the DAT that had Inspector Deck's vocals on it. So when Daz got the stuff back to put it on the album, Inspector Deck's vocals wasn't there. So Daz decided to leave Inspector Deck's ad-libs on there. But Daz said it had nothing to do with Tupac. And Inspector Deck, he also thinks that Tupac was hating. Even Redman and Method Man, or what they was told, that Tupac was hating. Tupac showed mad love to everybody.